Welcome back to episode 2, 30 days of, let's see how far we can get in Satisfactory in update 5. Clearly did not happen at all. No, so after update 5 came out, I stopped playing shortly thereafter, and we're now on update 7? Yeah, so dedicated servers are actually out as well. We went ahead and got one of those things. Hit or miss, love, hate. Not really sure I like it, so trying to restart this whole episode thing and YouTube in general. I'll probably end up having to bring the saves over to my machine and do most of the editing and stuff, but we'll see how this behaves and show you some weird quirky shit that goes on in this game, even for update 7. So, since episode 1, if you watched that or did not watch that, you can watch it somewhere up there. My green screen doesn't allow me to actually point places. There, right there. And then that's just. Anyways, is this gonna work? Nope. And this is dedicated servers for you. So we'll be back when this is fixed. Holy shit, it finally worked. Okay, so let's not show you too much. Look down at the ground. Don't look down at the ground. We started in the first playthrough, and I believe we only got to tier 2. But we went back and watched that first episode. I will show you something that still looks familiar. Our hub used to be right where I'm flying above, and this is our little makeshift factory. Might recognize this structure. It has grown significantly. We've got the upper level platform going on. I did end up finishing the left side of the extra power plants here. I believe there's a total of 20 in conjunction. I did not time lapse when I did this. I actually just started playing and got really back into the game, and then I was like, ah shit, I recorded this and I should probably just go ahead and still make a series out of it, since, you know. Yeah, so here we are. We are now on tier 5, and we are currently working on getting these, what are they, motor couplings? I guess is what the hell you call those things? Phase 3. I think they're motor valve couplings, whatever the hell they are, to get into tier 6 and along there. So up in the center between the smokestacks here will be a generalized storage center, aka the control room. I am going to try to pipe also the power in so that I could basically section off the factory and turn the power on and off in certain areas. I kind of remember where things are. As you can see, we do have a train going around as well, so most everything is the same within this area with the addition of the train. So let's take a ride and go see what lies ahead. Alright, so not too far from the initial desert starting area, you actually have this little oasis oil platform, or fields. I always call it platforms because it works very conveniently for when you actually need oil in this game and are in the desert. So there's 4 nodes here. I am currently utilizing 3 of the nodes, and we've got our basic plastics and rubber production going on, which then produces your heavy residue. And I ended up using the heavy residue to go into petroleum coke, and taking the petroleum coke and started powering this area here with the petroleum coke. I believe there's 19 generators here running off the petroleum coke. We've got our water down here. And then with what was left over from the heavy residue, we were able to make just enough, literally just enough, fuel here so we can fly around. And at the moment, this is not producing. I have stopped. But we have actually got our larger turbo diesel generators online now. So I have an independent node. We found the alternate recipe for crude oil into, can't even think, crude oil into fuel, and then it also makes a byproduct of polymer resin. As of right now, I don't recall what the polymer resin can be used for, so for now it's just literally dumping into an awesome down below. nice and simple, just get rid of it, and also helps us with the tickets to get all of our aesthetics that we actually need here. And then we're just using the one peer node here, and I do have this one overclocked, all 3 nodes, so this thing's putting out a true 600, and of course we have Mach 2 pipes already. So we can run the 600 into the pipes. So basically what I plan on doing is stacking this one more time, and at the time, if numbers serve me right, we just did this the other night, and I say we, Infected Wolf is playing on this playthrough with me as well, so it's just getting him here. But basically, we can get 9 refineries on that one crude oil line, and then I think I was going to have 2 or 3 refineries as the fuel, or direct output for fuel, and then basically put that into a packaging system. But off of that one node, you can quite literally run 30 generators. So we have 10 here right now, so kind of imagine at some point here we're going to have quite a bit of generators. So power grid's looking pretty healthy at the moment for what we're actually utilizing. We're producing 4,700 megawatts and only consuming just under that if we're even on full load, and as of right now, absolutely. The main factory is not producing everything, all the overflow items and buffers are full at the moment. And then I've got these guys on a bypass system just to always feed the awesome sink, to permanently keep that running, also to keep it running so that it doesn't stop producing the heavy residue, so that we can get full power. So did I do that in time to get the train back? No? Okay, I'll meet you back over there. Alright, welcome back to the base. I'm actually going to ride this train all the way into the station because that third car back there is actually full of fuel. We need some fuel for our jetpack. Bring it down. Alright, let's jump out here. That's good enough. Thank you. So, let's see. Nope, not that one. Added a 4th car. Here we go. Cool. We'll take 3 of these and fill it up. Cool. Alright, so if we fly through these 2 rails, I guess actually let me touch on this real quick. So I created the rail system mainly to get rubber and plastics back here to the base. As of right now, this is quote-unquote the main base as it was always intended to be. However, as most of us know, going through this game, that's just not possible for a main base. You end up having to make multiple factories throughout the whole world to do and accomplish multiple things, and then yeah, you can usually centralize some of it, but then you deal with a lot of potential lag or system resource issues. So, and as of right now, in my world, we are doing too bad in this area, even on a dedicated server. Not too bad. So let's go up to the factory platform, where today I actually think I want to work on closing and sectioning off these platforms to help eliminate. Last night I was doing some of the steel work that we need for the foundries, and man, it was just horrible. I don't know if it was the host or what the deal was. I rebooted the server a couple times actually, and it just didn't really get any better. There's a lot of weird things happening that I just kind of am content dealing with in this game because it's satisfactory. I think a lot of us are. If you're watching and you're an avid player or you're looking to get into it, just understand that there is bugs in this game, but more so some of the bugs you might see me talk about here, and or if you watch me live on stream while I'm playing my playthrough, which by the way, we got affiliate. Hey, more on that later. But basically, yeah, one of the tactics for this game, if you're new to this game, is that you don't want to necessarily have everything in the open world, because then your game is technically rendering everything that it can try to see once you get into a certain distance. I don't know the specifics on that. I don't recall Coffee Stain actually talking about it. I know Kibitz talks about it a lot, and by the way, you'll hear me mention Kibitz all the time. Big fan. So, yeah, this open world stuff is great when you're just building starter stuff, you know, making little tiny plants and stuff like that. But once you start building long-term builds, you want to get walls and things of that nature up and kind of close these factories in on themselves so that your computer does not get strained once you get into the super mega builds. I don't know what the hell. We'll figure that one out. Yeah, mega builds. So we've got a lot of work here. This is a Steel Foundry design that Kibbs actually designed a while ago. On one of his playthroughs, I don't think it's his current playthrough actually. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I ended up making this design again, and at the time, I have been MIA for a long time, working on a lot of stuff personally, so I had not been subscribed to Mr. Kibbs for a while, but he recently started using blueprints, and blueprints are absolutely effing amazing. So Coffee Stain, thank you so much. This is a damn great idea, especially since if a lot of you guys saw my first video that I had this little design that I built myself, and you know what, actually load it here. This way I could just clear it instead of having to tediously delete everything. But come in here, constructor. This is actually one of the designs I built right here. And this is a 3x3 constructor setup, allows you to have a single input line right here, and basically, yeah, you got your single input, and then you've got your outputs going back here, and the 3 on top are funneled down. So basically, you know, like if you got screws or anything like that, you can get like 180 screws per minute, or not screws, sorry, like metal plates, things, whatever. So I put the signs here, and in fact, let's just... Anyways, like I was saying, in the actual production world, you can put, you know, I use these signs here. This is pretty good, you know, so you got 30 plates per minute times 6 is 180 PM. So basically, you can use the signs to tell you what you have, because there's more often than not, there's so many times in my old playthroughs that I would go through. So these signs, by the way, are new, and they're amazing. So signs for the win, because you can come through and basically label all your shit and like know what the hell things are, even when you did this, you know, 20 hours ago, and past talks is like, what the F is this? And you're looking at it, and then you gotta go fly up here. Oh, okay, these are rods, or you gotta find the output, and like, oh, where's that going? Okay, that's going over. Oh, these are rods. Like, okay, cool. Oh, but where's it go? Oh, it goes way the hell over here. Well, why the hell did you do that? But it doesn't really matter for, you know, this particular instance. I digress. However, so yeah, that's kind of what's going on. So blueprints are now a thing. So Kibbs' Foundry design is from an earlier playthrough. I did actually end up building it myself in the blueprint machine. So this is my version of his version. And then the one thing is the blueprint machine is not like, I really wish you could put them like side by side or expand them to make them larger. And like, I'm wondering if that's a thing or not. I saw some stuff on some forums and other things where people are doing like mega builds, but I think they might be saving it in like a Satisfactory calculator and then recording it that way. Not sure. Need to look into that a little bit more. It would be nice to blueprint larger builds, especially for things like this. But long story short, I resubscribed to Kibbs stuff and realized that he was making his blueprints and designs on his Patreon. So thank you for that, buddy. That is really cool. It's nice for you to share with the community and things like that. It just makes everything easier, because doing these all block by block can become very tedious for the amount of supply and demand that we actually need to run to have X amount output in this game, right? So that is pretty bitchin'. So without, you know, much further design there, everything in the unidentified field here is pretty much a Kibbs design. There's very minor things in here. I think like this 3x3 assembler, I've got my design on that, is basically almost the same thing as my constructor design, but you know, I built this one right here. But this is, you know, everybody kind of used this in Satisfactory. Nothing special here. Now you can clip the freaking splitters through the damn machines. So, you know, back in the day, you used to build the splitters in front of the machine, have the 2 rows, one up high, one down, etc. And we, you know, everybody kind of has that style of that building per se. But what is so cool about having Kibbs blueprints is he literally has his balancers, you know, blueprints in here. So you don't have to sit there and think about things. You know, he's got like basic road. I actually took his basic road design and I redesigned it into the design, call it rail support. Yep, this is his road design right here, and I basically just chopped it up a little bit more, and then I just put this rail design. And so what I've been doing is it's pretty cool. It's working out pretty well, but it's going to help me map the world basically a lot easier. I always wanted to use some kind of like pillar structure design. I used to just use like plates, but as you can see in the distance and what you saw when we were driving on the train earlier, basically I have this pillar here, and so I start with that, and then I kind of use, you'll see like the foundations below. The foundations are actually the same area foundations as these ones here, so I can keep everything in line, but I'll basically just build out the foundations where I need it, hoop in the blueprint design, thanks to Kibbs, and modify it a little bit, and then basically just attach my tracks to it. And the only one downside is that there's no, like, you can only go like left or right with it, and what I mean by that is I'll show you real quick, rail support. So you can basically, unless you're going to start on a new tile, you can pretty much only, when you're on a tile, go left or right, and that's what I'm talking about. So it's kind of a bummer to some degree because it limits you unless you don't care, if you don't care about the train going up and down and things of that nature. I think my OCD is a little heavy, and so like I wanted everything, all these platforms to be the same inline or geometry of, you know, everywhere else. So the oil plant over there admittedly is not, only because trains came after I got the oil to unlock that tier. So but going forward, my thought process was I would use the platforms to go through, and then I would know without a doubt every factory in my world is on the same tile system. Basically, the snap points would line up 100%. Is that necessary? No, it's not. It's my OCD, so you don't have to play like that by no means whatsoever. That's me, so I digress when it comes to that. But we've got our central storage system that's going to be here. And then we've got some assembly stuff happening here, and then Wolf went ahead and built his quick line of what I was building permanent factory stuff, just to get us through the first two objectives. Let me get rid of this overview there. So yeah, we've got this going on here, and this is just to help us get through. It looks like, I think he was setting up calculators here is probably what this is. Yeah, so adaptive control unit, that's what it's called. So yeah, I need to get the rest of these resources going, but long story short, I'm rambling, I'm kind of showing you around, I'm catching you up, because I have done a lot since the playthrough. This is not going to be a 30-day playthrough, because now it's just turned into a project of, I'm enjoying the game again, so this is fun, and I don't think this game is possible to properly have fun or play in 30 days. I guess you probably could grind it out. Your factory would look like spaghetti, or I digress for who the heck it was that did the tornado thing, but that was hilarious. I think it was this game. No, it wasn't Neck. I don't know, but yeah, that's a funny playthrough. I'll leave a link below in that. Anyway, so we got the two steel foundries up. I've got my basic 6x6 system going on here, and just outputting some steel pipes and steel beams, and then I need to get some concrete piped up. There's actually some concrete nodes back there that I need to bring through, and I will basically get them up this pillar here. We'll get some wet concrete going, or not wet concrete, we did not find that recipe yet. We'll just some can't talk today. I'm just gonna say it, I can't. Industrial encased beams going. So you need steel beams and concrete for that, just off the normal recipe. Wet cement would be freaking great. That recipe is amazing for building encased beams. But yeah, so this is kind of where we are. But I think for everything we need to do, I think I'm going to start working on the design up here a little bit more, maybe even raise the space elevator up so that I can do it, or I don't know, maybe I'll leave it encased so it's like kind of like a showcase when you walk up here. But the factory itself is going to start exceeding the height of this floor already, so I don't know if I want to raise the space elevator up and build like a sphere, like a sphere, going up. Not a sphere. Why am I saying sphere? Not a circle. A spire, just a spire. Spire twists. Rectangle. Okay, whatever. But we'll see what shape it becomes. Anyways, again, I digress, but that's where we're at. So let's see what ends up happening, and I will catch you guys later. Alright, so after about 3 to 4 hours, we have been looting crash sites. No, just kidding. Actually, we have been super busy finishing up the aesthetics. So, I have closed the entire first factory floor of what I was working on, and we will fly over there real quick and I'll show you what I've been busy working on. So for this corner, I've got to bring in some materials coming up this pole here, but I kind of came up with this little design here. It's got like a X-wing vibe to it, and I like the way it looked. So I can kind of see the way I crossed those platforms, floors there, angled roof tiles, I should say, and then basically open this all up, or closed the roof in all, and then I decided what we'll do is we will raise the center up. So the space elevator and the main starter base will be moved again. I was going to do that right now, but that's going to take quite a bit, so maybe I will do that here in a minute. But what I wanted to show you guys before I started, because before I did this, I thought it would be important that I make sure that for the manufacturers, I have more than enough space. With this going up and all of this being an open template, I think this should be plenty of room to get most of, if not all of the stuff I plan on manufacturing here, and assembling and manufacturing. Kibbs actually has a really cool, actually I don't know if this was Kibbs' design, to be completely honest. Where's it at? Maybe, I think it is his actually. Wow. Wall Foundry. Boom. No, yes, the Wall Foundry is his. There's another one. There's an assembler one. The left assembler array. Boom. This thing is just massive, but it looks like 6 assemblers. Yeah, 6 assembler array. A lot of this looks like aesthetic. I can't build it yet because I don't have the... Actually, I can build it. I just need to get some computers, apparently, it looks like. Oh, no, AI limiters is what I need. So I wanted to check this thing out and see. I think I got this from Satisfactory calculator. You can speak, talks. Anyways, I want to check this out, but I had counted that the aesthetics on this thing is about 10 ceiling tiles high, as you can see here. So what I need to do is I need to get my hands on the AI limiters and then actually build this thing and see if I care for whatever those aesthetics are, and maybe make those work. But I like the way that it's against the wall like that. So I do want to see what this person's creation design was, because that will be pretty damn cool. And then especially if I can come up or make some kind of design using the manufacturers as well. So keeping this 10 tiles is probably fine. So my thought process would be is that I'll kind of, we go up here. I got this kind of corner aesthetic going on here, and then I was going to try to bring it in just to add some depth so it didn't look so boring while we're doing this. But once we get up there to the 10th floor, I would basically go at a slight angle again, maybe use the same X-wing style design on the corners just to kind of make that the aesthetic of this factory here. And then that would go into where the space elevator would be held up, potentially for the last time, at least for this base. And then that would be it. Now, the other thing that I took some time working on was I built this top wall, our roof here, in between the manufacturer, I keep saying manufacturer, in between the constructor and assembler floor, so that I can run my belt work through here for like constructors going over to assemblers, and then, of course I'm gonna have to run stuff from the assemblers going over to the manufacturers. So this is kind of like a pass-through floor, if you will. It's sitting right on top of our storage room, or what will be our central storage. So this was already planned out and is sitting in the center of the smokestack, so I showed that a little earlier from the bottom of looking at the power plants up. So basically this is where our central storage will be, and then what will happen is I'll do some stairs on the left and the right side on either end of the hallway here, and I will have tubes, and basically there's 4 quadrants of this whole building, and we'll just keep it simple: west, south, north, and east. And basically the tubes will take you to where we need to go, and then I'm gonna try to pipe in all the power, kind of like I said, to make this a control room so that I can control each quadrant of the factory. So as of right now, I kind of know where all the power actually is. That's gonna be quite a bit to go back and remember by the time I probably get there. But yeah, so that is where we are at. But I think for this video, that's going to be all for today. I appreciate you guys tuning in and checking it out. Let's see if I can actually keep this momentum going. By the way, I had mentioned that we had got an affiliate on Twitch, so thank you so much to my wife's community and the XO community, Sarah Plays No Games community, and yeah, basically just everybody that tuned in helped me get that. That's pretty damn cool. My thought process and plan is that I'll be making YouTube videos much like this one right here while I'm working on the larger parts of the build and kind of showing what I'm showing in the videos, so that the videos aren't too long here on YouTube. I will be going live during, or the intermissions of what I'm actually building during that time. So if I'm playing for 3-4 hour sessions anyways, I'll basically be live on Twitch during that time. So if you like what you see here and you want to talk to me live and have a chance to actually see what I'm thinking and how I'm making changes as I kind of go, if I don't show it here in the YouTube video, come over to my channel. I actually just changed my name. It was TalksM82, but I'm going to go ahead and my channel name is Mr. Talks, or Mr. Talks Mate, and that's M8. But yeah, Twitch/Mr. Talks Mate. And I will definitely put that here on the screen somewhere. Links down below, of course. Appreciate likes, subscribes, comments, all that good shit. You know what to do. So I will catch you all next time.